Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
We were discussing about the Friis transmission formula. So we will solve one more problem regarding that and move on to antenna fields. So just take down a problem question. What is the maximum power at a distance of? What is the maximum power at a distance of 0.5 kilometer? 0.5 kilometer over a free space, 1 gigahertz, 1 gigahertz circuit consisting of transmitting antenna, with 25 dB gain, and receiving antenna with 20 dB gain. The gain is with respect to lossless isotropic source. The gain is with respect to lossless isotropic source. Transmitting antenna input is 150 watt. Transmitting antenna input is 150 watt. Okay, just see the question and write down what are the given parameters. You can see the distance is given, which means R is equal to 0.5 kilometer is given. Frequency is mentioned with 1 gigahertz and transmitting antenna with 25 dB gain, which means that gain of transmitting antenna is given as well as gain of receiving antenna is given. And the transmitting antenna input, which means the transmitting power is given, which is 150 watt. Now, which formula you can use for this? Which is the formula you have to use? Friis transmission formula. We had written 3 formulas in that. Which formula you need to use? PR by PT. Okay. It is something you have GT, GR, lambda square. Yes, divided by
16 pi square R square.
16 pi square R square. Now, this is actually the formula. You have all the parameters actually. But the problem is, whenever the gain is given in dB, you have to first convert it back to normal amplifying value. So first GT and GR should be converted. How do you convert from dB to normal value? Any idea? So it will be usually converted as 10 log GT is equal to the value given, that is 25. So it will be log of GT is equal to 25 by 10. Then GT will be equal to, take anti-log of 25 by 10. Tell me the value. Divide 25 by 10. Then take anti-log. .5 it will be, take anti-log of 2.5. How do you take anti-log? See in your calci, shift, and there is a log button. So shift and that log button will give you anti-log. Shift antilog, that you will get some 10. There you type 2.5. How much you're getting?
316.22.
316.22.
Yeah, correct. 316.22. Similarly, do for receiving antenna gain. So this will be 10 log of GR is equal to 20. So log GR will be 20 by 10 will be 2. Take anti-log of 2. This will be 100. 2, 3, anything which comes, it will be 100 and 1000. So anti-log of 2 will be 100. Okay. Then find out the value of lambda. Lambda, you know, it is C by F. It is 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by frequency is 1 into 10 power 9. So this 10 power 8 and 1 20 power 8 here will get cancelled. You will have 3 into 10 power minus 1, which is nothing but 0.3 meter lambda. Done. Now substitute it directly to the formula. So PT or PR is equal to GR is 100, GT is 316.22, lambda square is 0.3 whole square, divide by 16, pi square, R square is 0.5 10 power 3 kilometer. So the square into PT is 150. Solve it. Be careful when you substitute the square roots. Sorry, squares. How much it is?
Zero 0.0108.
Yeah, correct. In terms of milliwatt, it will be 10.8.
Yes.
Okay. Others getting the same answer? 10.8.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. See, usual problem which you people do is you will not convert the gain. And you'll substitute it directly here 25 into 20. So be careful whenever gain is given in terms of gain or directivity. Both if it is given in terms of dB, convert it first, then put it to the formula.
Why we are converting here, ma'am?
Because dB is not the normal value. No, you plot the dB in terms of frequency when you have to need something in terms of power. But here
Okay.
dB is, see, something which will be like you have to find out 3 dB below the line or in terms of 20 dB or 40 dB. So that time we go for this gain conversions. So since this is directly related to your normal parameters, you cannot substitute for gain. So first you have to bring it back to the normal value. Then you can convert. If you want, you can convert the power also. So whenever dB value is there, just change it to normal values.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, did you solve that problem which I had given? I think sine to the power cube theta.
Yes, ma'am. It's like
What is the answer?
1.62, ma'am.
1.62. Can you tell me what is the power radiated without that decimal form? How much did you get the power radiated?
UM
Okay.
pi cube by 4, ma'am.
UM pi cube by 4. Okay. Others? Anybody? Others who have solved?
UM 3 by 4 pi square, ma'am.
3 by 4 pi square. Kavya, what about directivity here? In terms of without decimal substitution.
16 by
16 by? You put it in the chat box. I think there is some network problem. Others? Which is this? What about this answer directivity?
16 by 3 pi, ma'am.
16 by 3 pi. Pi square. Okay. There is some problem in this. This answer is actually correct. I think Kavya, there somewhere you have missed some of the calculation. Just check it once. If not, I'll be sharing it in the notes. You want me to solve, or is it okay? Others? So you should get 3 pi square UM by 4. Directivity is 16 by 3 pi. There, Sheetal, can you tell me how did you solve this? Sheetal?
Ma'am, sine power 4 theta, I taken a sine square by whole square, ma'am.
How did you take sine to the power 4 theta as?
Sine square theta by whole square.
Okay, sine square theta whole square. Okay. Then
applying sine square theta formula, ma'am.
Okay, that will be 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2 whole square. Then this will be 1 by 4. This will be 1 minus cos 2 theta whole square. Okay.
Separated, ma'am. 1 minus cos 2 theta whole square. 1 minus cos 2 theta plus cos square 2 theta d theta.
Okay. You have applied a minus b whole square, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to apply a minus b whole square. So this will be 1 square, 2 times of ab plus cos 2 theta whole square. So again, so this will be giving you in terms of a minus b whole square. For this, you have to do the integration. So first part will be 1 into d theta, which will go for theta differentiation. 2 cos 2 theta, cos 2 theta, you have to do the integration. So it will be sine 2 theta by 2. Again, here you will have actually cos 2 theta. For cos 2 theta, what is the formula?
Cos square 2 theta, ma'am.
Oh yeah, cos 2 theta whole square. What is the formula?
Cos 4 theta plus 1 by 2.
Yeah, correct. It will be, you can apply the formula of cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta formula is actually 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. Here you have cos 2 theta whole square. So this equation will become 1 plus
cos 4 theta by 2.
Okay, cos 4 theta by 2. Or there is one more equation, but I don't know whether it can work. Can you apply the formula of, no, you cannot apply sine 2 theta formulas. It is not possible. Okay. So you can do directly like this. 1 plus cos 2 theta, cos 4 theta by 2. So here it will be 1 by 2 differentiation. Cos 4 theta will be differentiated. So each around 4 times you have to do the integration part by part. Those who have not tried, try it, or else I have put it in the notes. Just go through it. And suppose if you still don't understand, do tell me. I'll solve it in the class, next class or the revision class. Okay. Take down one more problem. Again, all these related to Friis transmission formula are all asked in your VQ question papers. Two spacecrafts A and B are separated by 100 megameter Each has an antenna with D is equal to 1000 operating at D is equal to 1000 operating at 2.5 gigahertz. 2.5 gigahertz. If craft A receiver requires 20 dB, if craft A receiver requires 20 dB over 1 picowatt, 20 dB over 1 picowatt, what transmitted power is required? What transmitted power is required on craft B to achieve this signal level? To achieve this signal level. Two spacecrafts A and B are separated by 10 megameter. Each has an antenna with D is equal to 1000 operating at 2.5 gigahertz. If craft A receiver requires 20 dB over 1 picowatt, what transmitted power is required on craft B to achieve this signal level? So you have to find out transmitted power. You have R, D. Which formula you need to use? PR by PT is equal to, see, it is given each transmitting antenna with D is equal to 1000, which means that DR also is equal, DT is also equal. Transmitting antenna, receiving antenna, directivity both are equal. So which formula is related to directivity? Same formula, gain and directivity are equal. Instead you have taken G, take it as D. DT dr lambda square divided by 16 pi square R square. Now see here, DT is there, DR is there, lambda you can find out, R is there. You need to have PR. To find out PR, see it is given, you have A as a spacecraft, B as a spacecraft. It is separated by a distance R. Now, if craft A receiver requires 20 dB over 1 picowatt, which means that something is given related to dB, which is 20 dB. You have to find out PR in terms of this 20 dB because it is receiver. Craft A receiver requires 20 dB over 1 picowatt, which means that PR over 1 picowatt, which is given as 20 dB. But since it is given in dB, you have to take it as 10 log of PR by 1 picowatt. I'll explain you once again. The question, craft A receiver requires 20 dB over 1 picowatt, it is given. Now this is something you have to convert it into normal value. So that will remain in your right side, that is 20 dB. Since we are finding out with respect to the receiver, it is given receiver requires 20 dB over 1 picowatt, which is nothing but PR by 1 picowatt. And since it is in dB, it will be 10 log of PR by 1 picowatt is equal to 20 dB. Fine. How to write this? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now find out log of PR by 1 picowatt is equal to 20 by 10. So find out the value of PR by 1 picowatt is equal to anti-log of 2 is how much? 100. What is 1 pico? 100 into how much is pico? 10 to the power?
Minus 12 more.
Minus 12. So you will have PR 1 into 10 to the power minus 10 watt. So you got PR value. Substitute now all the values here. See, you need to find out PT. The formula will change. Everything which is in the denominator will become numerator. Numerator will become denominator because you're finding out what is PT. So first change the formula. PT will come to this side, or if you keep PT at the numerator, so your equation will be PR into 16 pi square R square divided by dt into dr into lambda square. Find out what is lambda. Lambda is C by F, which is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by 2.5 into 10 power 9. How much is the value of lambda?
Point 1.2, ma'am.
0.12 meter. Just convert it, write it here. 0.12 meter square. Calculate how much you're getting the power, transmitted power. Done. 10.96 kilowatt. Okay. Others?
Yes, ma'am. 10.96.
10.96 kilowatt. Any confusions, these kind of problems? Share the screen. The next topic is, you have a very small introduction of antenna field zones. So in the antenna field zone, you have two different types. One is called as Fresnel, F-R-E-S-N-E-L, Fresnel zone. And one more is called as Fraunhofer zone. So Fresnel zone and Fraunhofer zone, or it is also called as near field, or it is called as far field. Now there are two zones. Now near field, something it says that which is near. So the region, since we are talking about zone, it is a region close to the antenna is called as near field, or it is Fresnel zone. And here, if the region is far away from the antenna, you have an antenna placed, and if the field is very much near to this antenna, then you can say it is called as a near field. If it is far away from the antenna, then it is called as far field, or it is called as Fraunhofer region. Now the boundary, for example, if I draw an antenna here, which is nothing but a small conductor with a dipole, if I consider this and there is a circle representing certain area for this, and the length of this particular antenna is L. Now here, this region is nothing but which is given in terms of circle. I'll take it as it is an antenna region. Now this region, if I consider a circle along with this region, if this region from the antenna till here, it is nothing but you can measure something. So it is a near field, or is it is a Fresnel zone. And far away from this, say if, a boundary is mentioned, and from that boundary, whatever it goes or whatever will cross from this length to this length to infinity, you can consider till infinity. So from that region to that region is nothing but your far field region. So nearer you can measure something, it will be given in terms of boundary. So that will be your near field or Fresnel region. And the one which is far away from the antenna is nothing but your Fraunhofer region. Now this distance, that is boundary between the near field and the far field, it is given by a formula that is R is equal to 2L square by lambda in terms of meter. So which will be given as R is equal to 2L square by lambda in terms of your region mentioned. That is the boundary between near field and the far field. In between that, you take the R is equal to as 2L square by lambda, where L is nothing but the length of antenna and lambda is nothing but the wavelength of electromagnetic wave radiated. So this is the general definition of your, this mentions, or the circle mention Fresnel, Fraunhofer boundary sphere or boundary condition, boundary sphere. So this will be the distance just separating this will be in between your Fresnel and Fraunhofer region. Now difference between your near field and far field. The one difference, these regions are close to the antenna. So those are near fields. The regions are far away from the antenna, which means the larger distance. So that is a Fraunhofer zone. And the other differences which you can say is longitudinal components. So in terms of your near field, the longitudinal components are more significant. Whereas here you will have in terms of latitudinal components. Power flow in terms of near field is entirely radial. Whereas in terms of Fraunhofer region, the power flow is entirely radial, directed to outwards direction. What is outflow is outward direction is power radiated from the antenna. So that is, in case of near field, power flow will not be actually radial here. Whereas here, it will be radial, which will be directed towards your boundary or directed towards outwards. And the radiation pattern here is independent of distance. Whereas here, the radiation pattern is dependent on the distance. If you are going for the radiation pattern, depending on the distance, you will have the pattern generated. Whereas here, because the distance is already very much near, you will obviously get the pattern in a proper form. Whereas here, it will be completely different in terms of Fraunhofer zone. So those are the four main differences between your near field and far field. And that's it about the flow of the antenna. And the power flow, if you are talking about the power flow, see, this will be the center point if I take, and this is towards your latitudinal point if I take. So this will be your pole, and this will be, it was equilateral pole or equilateral plane. So the power flow here, as I've said Fraunhofer region, it will be outwards. So it will be radial, and each of the power flow will be, you can show it as it is outwards in terms of Fraunhofer region. So all the power flow will be flowing outwards. How does it actually flow is, Initially from the center, you will have the antenna power which is radiating. So it will go to the pole. Again, it will reflect back and come back to the pole in terms of the reverse direction. So this is how the flow will be shown. So here inside it will be flowing in a, it is not radial. You can just, it will be just flowing inwards in just the opposite manner. Similarly, on the other side also, it will be flowing like this and it will be reversed back to the pole. You have a negative pole given this side. So it will again reflect back. So this is also the other pole which you have on the other side. Whereas in the latitudinal portion, it will just go to the equilateral region and here also to the equilateral region. The power what it goes here, it will be outwards for a franc of a region, whereas here it is not radial inside your near field region. So is there any confusion? Yeah. So that will actually complete your module 3. We have some of the problems again, which we have to discuss. Take down the problem related to antenna field zone. Write the question. Directional antenna has a maximum electrical dimension of 50 meter, and its operating frequency is equal to, 100 megahertz. A field is measured at 1 kilometer from this antenna. Is it near field or far field? Is it near field or far field? Now you know the
question.
Okay. A directional antenna has a maximum electrical dimension of 50 meter, and its operating frequency is 100 megahertz. A field is measured at 1 kilometer from the antenna. Is it near or far field? Okay.
Ma'am, can you repeat from the start?
A directional antenna has a maximum electrical dimension of 50 meter, and its operating frequency is 100 megahertz. A field is measured at 1 kilometer from the antenna. Is it near field or far field? See, the dimension is given, which is nothing but the length. Frequency is given. You need to find out whether it is near field or far field. You know the formula, it is 2L square by lambda. So you need to find out lambda. First find out lambda, C by F, which is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by 100 into 10 power 6. So it will be actually 100 into 10 power 6 into 100 will be 8. You will get 3 meter directly. This whole gets cancelled. Get 3 meter. Now see the question. A field is measured, value is given. A field is measured at 1 kilometer from the antenna. That means if you have, this is an antenna. From the antenna, a field is measured as 1 kilometer. But for the dimensions which is given here, so this is the boundary now. between your near and far field. Whatever from this, it will be far field. Now near field is within this 1 kilometer. A field is measured at 1 kilometer from the antenna. Is it far field or near field? Now what we should do, what we have to find out? If you find out R, how does the R value will relate to your 1 kilometer? Or how do you define whatever the answer you get here, whether it is near or far?
If it's greater than 1 kilometer, it's far field.
Yeah, if it is greater than this 1 kilometer, the value what you get here, then it will be far field. Suppose if you get lesser than that, that is a near field. So find out, substitute the answer. It is 50 square by 3 square. Sorry, 3. How much you're getting?
1.67 kilometer, ma'am.
1.67 kilometer. So whether it is far field or near field?
It's a far field.
Sorry. The 1 kilometer is given. Based on this, you have to define. The field is measured at 1 kilometer from the antenna. You are measuring this 1 kilometer. The answer you are getting R is 1.67 kilometer. This which you are measuring, is it near field or far field is the question. See there, a field is measured at 1 kilometer from the antenna. Is it near or far field? The one which you are measuring 1 kilometer, is it far field or near field? So what will be this? Far field or
Near field.
Near field. So since the distance at which your field is measured is less than 1.67 kilometer, it is near field. So write down under your answer there, since the distance at which field is measured is less than 1.67 kilometer. Since the distance at which the field is measured is less than 1.67 kilometer, it is near field. Take down one more problem. The maximum effective aperture of an antenna, was observed to be 10 square meter or 10 meters square at a frequency 100 megahertz, calculate the directivity of antenna. How do you calculate? What is the formula of directivity which is relating to AEM, maximum effective aperture? You know that it is something 4 pi AEM divided by lambda square is the formula. So find out what is lambda. C by F, which is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by 100 into 10 power 6, which is 3 meter. Substitute the value here. It is 4 pi into 10 by 3 square.
$13.96.
13.96. Correct. Others getting the same?
Yes.
Write down one more. For a short dipole, lambda by 15 long, find the efficiency, radiation resistance of loss resistance of 1 ohm find also effective aperture. So here you have to remember the radiation resistance formula of short dipole, which we have done in the derivation of short dipole. The formula is RR is equal to 80 pi square L square by lambda square. This is the formula for radiation resistance of lambda by 2 dipole. Sorry, short dipole. Now the length is given actually if lambda by 15 long. So substitute it here. So RR is equal to 80 pi square. L square will be lambda by 15 whole square divided by lambda square. Calculate this. You will have 80 pi square lambda square by 15 square lambda square. This and this will get cancelled. $80 by 15 square into pi square.
$3.509.
3.509 or 3.51 ohm. So radiation resistance you have calculated. Next, you have to calculate efficiency. Now efficiency, we know the formula RL is given. You have written for radiation resistance formula RR divided by RR plus RL efficiency. So it is multiplied by 100. So just substitute 3.51 divided by 3.51 plus 1 ohm is the loss resistance given into 100. Find out what is the efficiency.
$77.8, ma'am.
77.8, correct. 77.8%. I clear the screen. So next, to find out your maximum effective aperture. To find out this maximum effective aperture, we know that the formula for maximum effective aperture is 4b square 4s into RR. I have derived this. Now for a short dipole, you have to remember the equation of short dipole. For short dipole, voltage we have got in that derivation as E lambda by pi. which is whole square, divided by 4. S, you know, it is related to E square pointing theorem, E square 120 pi. So you'll be writing it as E square by 120 pi. Radiation resistance, what you have got is 3.51. So if you just simplify it, it is E square lambda square by pi square divided by 4 E square into 3.51 divided by 120 pi. So E square cancels. 1 pi and 1 pi cancels. This will be 430. So if you simplify this, it is 30 lambda square divided by 3.51 into pi. So you will get it as, substitute the value of lambda value is not given. Keep it lambda like that only. Just substitute, simplify 30 by 3.51 into pi.
2.72.
2.7. 3.72. Sorry, 2.72 lambda square. This will actually complete your module 3. We'll just check and see some of the problems are there. So if it is there, we'll solve it tomorrow. By the time, I want you to just go through the module 3 antenna part. Just look into it once. Any confusion or any part you have not understood, if you want me to explain, please go through it and tell me tomorrow. And notes I'll be uploading today. Some of the videos, because of some network issue, I couldn't upload. I'll upload it today. Videos as well as the notes in the GCR. So you can just go through it. And we'll solve some of the problems tomorrow if time is there, or I'll just check out. If important problems are there, you can solve it tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we'll end the class. Thank you.
Thank you.